Alrighty. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I made over $68,000 trading the wheel strategy. So as you can see over here, this is one of my trading accounts. So this is with Interactive Brokers. So for this account, I only mainly trade the wheel strategy. So the gains that you see here is only on the wheel strategy. So as you can see for this month, which is the month of December, so you can see it's 31st December 2024, the gains which I have is $68,289. So if I was to take a look at the performance, well, you can see that for this month alone, the return is about 8.64%, which is actually not too bad, because if I was to benchmark this against the other indices, for example, the S&P 500, you will see that the performance is actually much better than some of the indices there. So for example, S&P 500 for the month of December is actually down 2.08%, but my portfolio is not only up, but it's up 8.64%. Now, what about if I benchmark this to the NASDAQ? So as you can see for the NASDAQ is positive for the month, but it's only positive by 1.47%. So it's still slightly lesser than my portfolio. And if I was to compare this against the Russell 2000, then you will see that the performance of my wheel strategy portfolio pretty much overshadowed the performance of Russell 2000, because the Russell had a return of negative 8.4% for the month. So if I was to compare this with the three indices, then my portfolio is actually doing not so bad. So how is it that I can get this kind of return for the month of December when most of the indices are either negative or didn't really make much? And the reason is because I focus on one aspect of the wheel strategy that not too many people actually focus on. So the very first thing I like to look out for when I start trading the wheel strategy is basically companies that are fundamentally strong. I do not want to just trade stocks that has high volatility, because a lot of people tend to do that. They want to find the stocks that has very high volatility, so they get very high premium. But what they don't realize is that if it has a very high volatility, it also means that it could have very, very wild swings in the underlying stock price movement. And this is not something that I really like. I prefer something that's much more predictable. Basically, I want the underlying to be appreciating over the long term. That means if the price is going to go up, then I know that the wheel strategy has a better chance to work out. So that's the first thing I look out for. So how do you tell whether a company is fundamentally strong? So there are quite a number of criteria, but for me, a very quick snapshot, one of the ways that I like to just have an idea whether the company is good before I start to really dive into the fundamentals, is to take a look at this Google Finance, type in the company, right? So in this case, I have NVIDIA. And then what I like to do is just go down to the income statement. So for me, what I really want to look out for is that there is increasing revenue year on year, as well as increasing net income or profit. So in this case, NVIDIA, pretty consistent, although in 2023, there's a slight dip, but in 2024, it did pretty well. So NVIDIA is one of those companies I do think is pretty fundamentally sound, but of course, definitely do your own due diligence. I'm not telling you to get into NVIDIA, especially if you were to get into this stock, you also need to know when to get into it for the wheel strategy. So once you've already decided on the stocks that you want to do for the wheel strategy, what's the next thing you got to do? So the main idea for me when I'm trading the wheel strategy is I want to find out what is the rough valuation of the stock. So for example, I'm going to put the valuation line down here. I'm going to put for V. What I'm ideally trying to do with the wheel strategy is I want to sell a cash secured put that is below the valuation. And ideally, once the market goes back up above the valuation, I want to sell the covered call. So this way, I'm actually getting three forms of profits, so to speak. So the very first one is in terms of selling the cash secured premium. Second one is selling the covered call. And the third one, which is what a lot of people actually do not really focus on, is actually the capital gains. So capital gains is when you sell the cash secured put over here and you're assigned the 100 shares. This is where if you hold on to the stock to the point whereby it goes up and then you sell the covered call and then it gets assigned at your covered call over here. And then this is where you get called away. you actually get the profit from here to here. So this actually makes a very big chunk of the profits in your wheel strategy. A lot of people just try and get the premium, and I feel that's a little bit short-sighted, because if you only get the premium where you only want to get very high premium through those high volatility stocks, sooner or later it can get into trouble, whereby you get into one of those stocks where the market really crashes, or rather the stock crashes, and then you're stuck at a position where it's very hard for the market to eventually go back up for you to break even or sell a covered call at. So that's one thing that I look at. So the question is, how do you find out what is the valuation of the stock? So luckily for us, there are already websites out there that actually does the calculation for us. Now, if you want to get very specific and you want to do your own calculations, you can do that. But I prefer to just rely on a lot of the sites out there that already would show us what's the valuation. So for example, one of the sites that you can use is what's called Simply Wall Street. So Simply Wall Street basically just tells you, the company, it goes into all these details which you can look at as well. It tells you the valuation, the future growth, past performance, financial health, so on and so forth. So you can see all this on your own. So if I was to go over to the valuation over here, you can see that right now it's saying that Nvidia is overpriced. So although Nvidia is a fundamentally good stock, in my opinion, I wouldn't want to get into the wheel strategy for Nvidia right now, because the current price is just overvalued, right? As you can see over here, it's currently 35.5% overvalued. So this is not where I want to enter into the stock for the wheel strategy. I want to wait for the price to drop below this fair value. Then I will start selling the cash secured put and then get into the whole wheel strategy. So this is how I find the fair value. Now, this is not the only website that shows the fair value of the stock. You actually can go to other sites. For example, Guru Focus is another one of them. And you also have Morningstar. Now, what if all the different sites that you're looking at all give different valuations? So for myself personally, I like to be a little bit more conservative. I like to play it on the safe side. What I like to do is I would just go and find the lowest valuation and then go with that one, because I want to err on the safe side. So if this site, for example, Morningstar, is telling me that Nvidia is, let's say, $120 for the fair value, but on Simply Wall Street it's telling me that it's $101, then I am going to use this value of $101 and only wait until Nvidia drops below $101 before I start selling the cash secured put. So now that I know what is the fair value, the next thing I want to do is I will go over to the chart and then I'll just simply draw a line to show me where is the current fair value. So as you can see over here, this is Nvidia, and I've already drawn this horizontal line over here where you can go to the left hand side. This is trading view, by the way. All you got to do is just click this and then you can plot this horizontal line to show where the fair value is. So as you can see right now, Nvidia is currently above this fair value, so I'm definitely not looking to get into the wheel strategy now. I want to wait until the price actually goes below this fair value line. Then I'm going to start to sell the cash secured put. And let's say I'm not being assigned on the cash secured put. Let's say it expires worthless. Then I'm just going to sell the cash secured put again. And once I'm assigned, then I'm going to wait until the price actually goes above this fair value. Then I start selling this covered call. So for me, this is a very big part of the wheel strategy, where I actually hold on to the stocks and wait for it to go up to a certain amount first. So in this case, as you can see, above the valuation line, then I sell the covered call. Because when you sell the cash secured put as well as the covered call, the premiums is really not a lot. It's not really going to make a huge difference. For me, the main profit driver really is the capital gains down here. So at this point in time, you might be asking, but Davis, if you think that it's going to go up, why don't you just buy the stock outright? By the way, if you like this video so far, please subscribe and also click the thumbs up button. And also do get your free copy of the Options Income Blueprint, where I share the top 3 option strategies that help you generate a consistent income each month, trading just 1 to 2 hours a day, right? So if you want to go ahead to get this copy, just head on over to optionswithdavis.com/blueprint. All right, back to the video. Well, the thing is that you never know what's going to happen. What if the moment the market comes down to this point down here and I sell the cash secured put, the market continues going further down? So if I had not sold this cash account put, I wouldn't have this premium. I wouldn't be able to get this income, so to speak, and I would just be holding on to the stock. But with this cash account put down here, at least I'm able to get some premium. And not all the time I could get a sign. So the market could come down here and it just stalls for a while, and I would have already gotten this premium from this cash account put. It expires, then I sell another one again. So I can keep selling it and keep getting this premium. At the same time, I also use what is called the income grid wheel strategy. So if you're not familiar with this term, this is a strategy that I pretty much use. You can just go to my channel and type the term income grid wheel strategy, and it will explain to you what it means. I have a number of videos on that. So basically is that I don't just sell one cash account put, I sell them in a number of tranches. So of course, you need to have your risk properly planned out for this in order to do this properly. But if you only have small capital, or rather you don't have that big of a capital to do many cash account puts along the way, then doing this just one level is more than enough. So that is why for me, the important point really is to capture the capital gains, because if you were to take a look at the premiums alone, just by selling the cash account put and the cover calls, is really not that much. So if I was to go over to the option chain right now, so let me just go over to the option chain here on my account here for Tasty Trade. So let me just go to NVIDIA here. All right, type NVIDIA, go to trade, and let's just say you go to the, let's say the 17 days. By the way, for me, for the cash account put and the cover calls, when I trade the wheel strategy, I like to go for a shorter term. So if you've been a follower of my channel for quite some time, you'll know that my default ones usually is around 45 DTEs, but that is only if I trade the strategies where I do not want to get a sign. So if I do not want to get a sign, I will go for the slightly longer term DTEs. But for the wheel strategy, I actually want to get a sign, or rather I don't mind getting a sign. So this is where I will go for the shorter term DTEs. So I may go anywhere up to about 30 days. So let's say, for example, if I go for somewhere around the 17 days, so this is slightly above 2 weeks. And for the delta, I like to go somewhere near at the money. Not necessarily right at the money, but somewhere out of the money around here. So somewhere around 40 deltas would be good as well. So if I was to choose this 135 strike down here, you can see it's only giving me a mid price of $4.12, which is only about $412, which is not that much, because your capital outlay would be about $13,500. Because if you're trading the wheel strategy, it means you're already prepared to get a sign. So you definitely need to have the cash of this $13,500 in case the market goes down, stays below the strike price at expiration, and you get a sign. So you're getting only about $412 for a capital outlay of $13,500. That's not a lot in the big scheme of things, because you have a lot of capital that you're being put down for this position down here. So that is why if you want to have bigger profits when it comes to the wheel strategy, then you want to also aim for the capital gains. Let's say, for example, if you sold it at 135 and let's say you got assigned, then you got the premium of $412. But let's say the market actually goes up, or rather NVIDIA goes up and it's above the valuation. And let's just say the valuation, let's say it's 145. And once it goes above 145, you sold it at 150, the covered call. So when you sell the covered call, you're going to get some premium again. So in this case, if you were to hold from 135 and you exit somewhere around 150, you would have made $15 in terms of the capital gains per share. So each option controls 100 shares. So $15 times 100, you get 1,500, which is $1,500 for in profit if you were to hold it in terms of capital gains. And that can significantly boost your profits for the wheel strategy. So this is generally how I like to trade the wheel strategy. Sell your cash account put below the valuation line, and once it's assigned, you wait until the stock goes back up, and then you sell the cover call above the valuation line. Now, what if you're looking at the stocks whereby the valuation is way above where the current price is? So for example, let's take a look at Alphabet. So Alphabet, if I was to go over to the valuation, you can see over here the current price is $191, but the fair value is $241.74. So it's really way up there. And if I was to go over to the chart, so let me just go over to Google down here. So let me just remove these drawings as well. As you can see over here, I've had the valuation line up here, and you can see it's so much higher. So at this point of time, if the valuation line is so high above where the current price is, how do you get into the wheel strategy? Does it mean that you can just sell the cash secured put anywhere you want to? Well, technically you can, but I like to be a little bit more conservative, whereby I will want to wait until the price goes down before I sell the cash secured put. So the question is, how do you know where do you sell the cash secured put, right? How far should the price go down before you start selling the cash secured put? So this is where you can use what's called the stochastic oscillator. So the stochastic oscillator is a good way to identify overbought or oversold conditions in the market. So if you have been following my channel for quite a while, then you know that I have been referring to this oscillator, this stochastics, for a number of the videos that I've created for the different strategies. So of course, again, like I mentioned, every time when I talk about a stochastic oscillator, this is not some kind of magic indicator that will tell you when the market will turn every time, because there'll be times where the stochastic might show an oversold reading, but the market continues to be oversold. For example, over here, as you can see down here, it shows oversold at this point, but the market continues to go down. But at least at this point, you have a much better entry than if you were to enter when the stochastic actually shows it's overbought. Because if you enter the cash secured put when it's overbought, then this is where you're going to be in a little bit of pain before the market eventually comes back up. So rather than get in right at the top, at least I want to get in when the market is going down, it's retracing. So this is something that you can use to try and identify places for you to start selling the cash secured put if the valuation of the stock is way up there. So as you can see, Google is still way up there. So that means that anywhere below this valuation line is good for us to sell the cash secured put. But first, I want to wait until this stochastic shows an oversold reading. So as you can see over here, there are a few times it actually went oversold down here, and it kind of coincides with where the market turns. So once it becomes oversold, this is where I will go to the option chain, and then I will look at where to sell the cash secured put. So you may also take a look at the support line if you want to as well. So let's say, for example, this is oversold, and then down here is where the support. You could consider waiting a little bit lower before you sell a cash secured put below here if you want to. But then again, it's not that necessary because we already know that the valuation is pretty high up there. And over the long term, this stock can gravitate to this valuation line. So now that we've already decided on the cash secured put, when to enter into it, the question is, once I get a sign on the cash secured put, do I hold on to the stock all the way until it goes above this? Because as you can see, it's still quite far away. So the answer really comes down to you. So I myself have the wheel strategy on Google. And for me, I do the income grid wheel strategy where I have multiple tranches. I have multiple cash secured put. So on a part of it, I'll actually hold on to it until it finally reaches the valuation line. Then I start to sell the covered call. But then on a small part of it, what I do is that I'll actually also sell the covered call depending on this stochastic oscillator here. So what I'm really waiting is until it goes above this red line where it shows the overbought reading now, then I start to sell the covered call. So in this case down here, you can see the market went above to this point down here and it shows the overbought reading. This is where I actually sold the covered call. So I sold a covered call somewhere at around 25 deltas. So this way, if the market actually goes up above here, then I would have quite a bit of a nice profit from the capital gains from where I got assigned. And if it doesn't get assigned, then I'm going to wait again until it shows another overbought reading. So if it does eventually get assigned, let's say I sell my covered call down here and the market actually goes up and then I get assigned, then it doesn't matter as well because I still have a part of my stocks where I'm still holding for the long term, where I can still continue to gain even more capital gains once it finally goes above this valuation line down here. So if you have multiple positions on this stock, then you definitely have the choice whether you want to get them out below the valuation line or hold them to the valuation line. So this is how I trade the wheel strategy, and I hope you found this video helpful, and if it has, I greatly appreciate it if you click the thumbs up button and also subscribe to my videos, and I will see you in the next video.